So I'm a green officer at my college. I'm really interested to know the energy that's being provided to college and how sustainable that is, and it being renewable, and specifically learning that it's come from this site has been really interesting. I'm also studying geography, so learning about renewable energy in that respect as well has been something I'm quite interested in.
So seeing the scale of the actual solar farm was a really great opportunity, and then actually learning how the energy here can be linked up to the university and they can guarantee that happens was really interesting to hear about, because I had no knowledge of it before. So I'm doing a PhD in supercapacitors, which are used for renewable energy storage. So it's always the motivation behind my research, and yeah, obviously the climate crisis is awful. So my interest is driven by that, and we need to solve it.
So I do international development with education, so a lot of my focus is on sustainable development. So I'm involved with a few organisations. One of them is One for the World, which is looking at sustainable initiatives in and around Cambridge, and another one is the Cambridge Development Initiative. So they're thinking kind of about some climate justice type goals, but more in an international perspective.
So I'm just sort of quite interested in sort of solving climate change in general. So in my PhD we look at quite a radical area called geoengineering, and so which is an option if we really don't do a good job solving climate change, but renewable energy and that sort of thing. So geoengineering, it's deliberate large-scale altering of the climate to counteract climate change. So kind of large-scale ways of cooling the planet down. So things so the one I look at is called marine cloud brightening. So the idea is you sort of make clouds over the sea brighter so they reflect more sunlight, and that has a cooling effect on the planet. And then there are other ones like stratospheric aerosol injection. So you inject aerosols into the stratosphere and that reflects more sunlight. And then also carbon dioxide removal is another form of geoengineering as well.
So the most interesting thing was hearing from the guys about, the generation and all the kind of logistics that goes into an operation as big as this one. And in general, just seeing the site. I've never seen solar panels up this close. I've just seen them from a distance, driving past on the motorway or something. So it was really nice to see something so vast and a project that's making such a difference.
Seeing the scale of it. I mean, obviously I knew they were big, but physically being here is very different. And also knowing that this is the exact site where some of the energy that is coming to the college has been really nice to know, and that it's they're specifically linked rather than coming from some kind of different grid source of renewable energy, which has been really good to know and learn about, as well as just how demands have been changing, that this is now kind of a viable option when 4 years ago it would be much harder to do things like this. So yeah.
It's really great just kind of actually see how it kind of operates, and chatting to your engineers about sort of the energy infrastructure and the energy grid. Sort of very topical at the moment. It was really interesting just kind of actually learning how all the contracts operate quite like money and quite like stocks really. So that was, for me, it was quite interesting, yeah.
I think the favourite part was having the interaction between the students who we brought down here today, seeing their interest in discovering more about renewable energy, about a sense of pride in the decisions that the Cambridge colleges have taken in the way that we source our energy supply, and the fact that this is a really positive and important first step towards carbon zero for all of the Cambridge colleges.
I think my favourite part of the visit has been listening to people talk about future plans for renewable energy and what kind of directions that might go in, and how that might look in the future, as well as just in general more buildings in Cambridge, how they are also trying to use renewable energy, and the fact that there's a huge push towards it now, more so than there was previously.
Generally speaking, obviously we all need to move towards more renewable forms of energy. And so for Cambridge Zero, and particularly for the university and for the colleges, I think the thing that really is interesting is the fact that they have the capacity to be a leader on it. And the Cambridge colleges seem to have sort of come up with a position which I don't see elsewhere, or I haven't heard elsewhere, and they were talking about that. So that's going to be interesting there. It's just to actually, if we can do something, why not?
I think coming from a sustainable development lens, I would say that it's something that's going to be, worldwide impacting the effects of climate change. So therefore solutions need to be something that's thought about on a big scale as well, but something that starts local and goes bigger.
Are committed on this journey. We're all at different stages of this journey, but there's a clear commitment that all of us are working towards. There are challenges on the way by the nature of the size and shape of our estate in Cambridge, but I think we have a wealth of resource in our students who are helping us find solutions to it and working collaboratively. I think we're very positive that we're on the road towards carbon zero, and it's just a question of making sure that we keep up that momentum now and working with companies such as Smartest and through Smartest Toucan to help find solutions, I think is really supportive. So my personal interest in renewables is that I've got children, obviously, and I'm a conscientious world citizen, and I want to ensure that the world that they grow up in is a good one.